Hi, I'm Monique Forcier. I am a spiritual coach, and I wanted to hop on here today to talk to you about mistakes. We all make mistakes, and if you've had the pleasure of living long enough to make a couple like me, you start like wondering, why the heck am I making these mistakes and the same mistakes over and over again. So I did some research and I found out some of the benefits of actually making mistakes. So I thought I would do a little talk about, what are some of the positives? We all know the negatives of making mistakes. We don't like necessarily living with the consequences of our mistakes, but what are some of the positives of mistakes? And I found 10. Yes, 10. That's quite a few. Someone once told me that mistakes are how we learn, and all of these 10, I think, really speak to that. So, number one is we can gain knowledge. If we have a willingness to learn, we can gain knowledge from our mistakes of what we like, what we don't like. Mistakes trigger our creativity. Let me explain. Well, what we're doing isn't working, so we need to look at alternative ways of doing or thinking or being. And so it causes us to be creative in the way that we think. And when we think of different solutions, we're using our creative mind. We learn a lot of resistance from making mistakes. So resistance is something that we would kind of stay stuck if we didn't make mistakes. And so we would never really learn how to overcome adversity without a mistake. So resilience, we learn it when we make mistakes. We learn humanity. We learn to be humble, that we are only human because we, like everyone else, make mistakes. So we learn about humanity. We have reference points. Okay, this didn't work. What's going to work? So if this doesn't work, where do we need to go to move the needle to where we want to go? Every time we try something new, in theory, we become better at it. So we can obtain new ideas by making mistakes. Sometimes this pushes us through. Making a mistake will push us to our limits. Let's say you're inventing something and it didn't quite work, but you really know that you can get there eventually. So if you push past your limit, for the limit of the mistake that you made, you can come up with a new thought or idea, new way of doing something. We gain courage from making mistakes. Yes, we become stronger and better over time after we try. And bravery really is about admitting our faults and growing from our faults. So courage really comes from bravery. Mistakes make us wiser. We see people who have helped us, we see people who have not helped us, and it helps make us wise to who in our lives is really supporting us and who's on our side. Mother Teresa once said, some people come into our lives as blessings and some people come into our lives as lessons. It's a good thing to remember. They teach us how to experiment, trying something new, being innovative. So think if we never made a mistake, we would never create new things because it'd be fine the way it is, right? So mistakes help us to create new things and better things. And then they help us to understand ourselves. Let me explain. We can be our own worst enemy. Yes, we can. I know I can. And when we reflect on our mistakes, instead of judging ourselves, we can overcome our shortcomings and become stronger people because we know our strengths and our weaknesses. We know our limits. Sometimes we can push past them, but sometimes just acknowledging that they exist is really helpful. So, as I said, we all make mistakes. And I hope that these 10 tips or 10 positive things of making mistakes are inspiring to you so that instead of beating yourself up when you make a mistake, you lean into the practice of, okay, what did I learn? Where do I need to grow? What boundary do I have that I need to push through? Is this making me stronger, wiser? Am I being creative? Am I using innovation? Am I experimenting? What's my reference point? Yeah. If you'd like to learn more about my coaching practice, because these tips all come from my coaching practice, please reach out to me. You can message me. I'm also curious to hear from you in the comments below. What mistakes have you learned from? What's the biggest mistake you've learned from? I know I have made many, and I have learned from many as well. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments or messaging me privately. Much love to you. Have a fantastic day.